What's going on, my creative collective? Welcome to your reading for May 31st. We're going to dive right in here. So, I'd like to invite the angels, my guardian angels, my spirit guides, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space. And I ask that it is a safe and brave space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, ascension, and healing. All right, let's do this. Yesterday's message was really intense. So, we're going to see where today goes, okay? We're going to see where today goes. Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creatives? For this you were born. Foster your intention for incarnating in this dimension. I'm hearing Taurus. Could be something to do with the eclipses. You could be a Taurus watching, or you could have prominent Taurus placements. The unknown is your friend. Lean in to embrace what's next. Yes, yes, indeed. Ooh, I got goosebumps. I was thinking, I saw these rings and I was like, oh, tree rings. And then I had like huge goosebumps. How much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. Ugh, I love this card. So good. I love that card. I love it, love it. So let's see where we go here and what the day brings, shall we? Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creatives, please, for May 31st? Ooh, Judgment, Awakening. Hell yeah. Man, you started yesterday with the High Priestess. Now we're kicking it off with the Judgment card. This week did not come to play. That's like, these are great energies though. This is just me being cheeky because the energy is really good. Five of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Queen of Cups, Ten of Swords, the Fool. Ooh, that's beautiful. Ooh, goosebumps. Four of Swords, Three of Wands, Knight of Cups. Whoa, all of these? Okay. So we have the Ace of Cups, the Hanged Muse, and the Five of Wands. Interesting. Okay. So immediately there's the decision from yesterday. We saw the Lovers card popping out yesterday, and it almost like it feels like a continuation of that. It feels like a continuation, but this is like something bigger. The Lovers strikes me as like, you know, everyday decisions or decisions about things to do with the everyday, like the I don't want to say the banality of your experience because that's not true. These things are deeply meaningful and impactful. This is more like I'm hearing related to awakening, related to a depth of your power, related to that energy more so than anything else. 3333 is coming up on the time there. That yes, this really does strike me as something to do with a shift, a consciousness. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Spirit. That's the consciousness shift from yesterday that we experienced. So I feel like this is like the integration. This is the story of the consciousness shift from yesterday's reading. Now, the Five of Pentacles is that I feel like this is more the fear of loss than actual loss, but I feel like it's fearful nonetheless because it is informed by this new start. So I feel like you might be inspired to start something new. There could be something new that you're starting out on. There could be an opportunity for you to jump into something. Very good energy, but there's a fear that you're kind of carrying with you. Like I almost get this as you leaping, but taking a little bit of this baggage with you, and that's okay. But you do have to make decisions here because the Ten of Swords is here, which reflects the ending. And I think it reflects the ending more of the emotional side of things that kept you in this Five of Pentacles, because we do have the Queen of Cups here in the thing that could become a tower if we do not tend to it, which to me, that strikes me as an energy of your emotions can creep up on you. And that may be what you find, ends up releasing this this Five of Pentacles. And this is also an awareness that you can have about yourself. And this is like a confident awareness. This is like realizing that you could do it the whole time, realizing that something was possible the whole time, or it was like right beneath you, like right, not beneath you, like as in hierarchical, but like it was right under your nose the whole time and you had no idea. Something along those lines or to that effect. The reason why I think this is the release card is because this is showing up in the protagonist energy. So there's something about this Ten of Swords energy that is very eager to release. It's like an eagerness to let go. Like you're willing. You're not just willing. You're like ready and willing. And I feel like you do. The interesting part is that the Fool is showing up in your antagonist position. So just make sure that if you take any leaps, my dear daily creatives, that if you take any leaps, there's discernment in this. There's discernment in this, right? I think it's like, it's the unknown is your friend, embracing what's next. And I think that it's showing up in an antagonist energy because it's about seeing some of the path, but there's also this Five of Pentacles that I feel like is very tied to this process. This is like the energy that we're releasing, this Five of Pentacles here. And you know, the challenge is the healing. The challenge is the healing from this. Your challenge today is leaning into the release, embracing the release and letting go. Truly releasing. And then the Three of Wands, this positive expectation card is you coming on this is the triumph over that challenge, right? This is a triumph over the challenge. So your positive expectation, I have no question that you're going to move through this energy beautifully. We'll clarify more of the details afterwards, but there's this depth of emotion that you have that you're connected to that's truly something right now. Because, you know, the things that you're taking with you are this Knight of Cups, this like heart-centered, not just awareness, but it's like the integration of how you feel. Like if someone said, how do you feel about that? You would have a very clear answer that is not overwhelmed by the contents of the cup. It wouldn't be like a deluge of emotion. It is not controlled either. It's just present and connected, right? And again, this is showing up in your emotions may sneak up on you, but this is more integrated energy, right? The reason why usually we think of the Knight of Cups going to the Queen of Cups as the ideal direction, but I see this slightly differently because I see that all of these emotions beneath the surface, right? And they are big. We see this person above the surface, and then all of this stuff underneath is big emotion. The Knight of Cups is more of a gentle disposition towards emotions and the emotional realm. And the Ace of Cups is up here. I'll show you in a minute, but the Ace of Cups is up here, which tells me that there's more to that story. And the Ace of Cups was prominent yesterday too, so I feel like this story is really one of you reaching for that, not just contentment, but fulfillment. That the cups represent emotion, but they also represent the why behind our feeling. And that is fulfillment. That is meaning. That is reaching for these things. And that's a big deal to me. That's a big deal. Let's see what else we've got here. I'll pull these up. And then ending today, we have the Ace of Cups, the Hanged Muse, and the Five of Wands, which tells me that there may be some external conflict that you've had to process that may have affected the way that you responded to or received this Ace of Cups. And it can be affecting, it can be kind of, I think, affecting, this is the conflict, but this is also how you see yourself. Right? This could be how you see yourself and whether you see yourself as worthy and deserving. But I think the key is here to sit with your emotions. These are both, I get this image of suspension in midair, one, but also this sort of suspension in the state of your emotions, a comfort with them, right? You're letting them be as they are, and you're meeting yourself where you are, as opposed to trying to make this cup different or trying to be, to rush the Hanged Muse in their process. This is no, and I think it's helping you to see yourself a lot more clearly, or to see a situation more clearly. You may find that a lot of things are mirrored to you this week. You may find a lot of things end up being mirrored to you, which is okay. Sometimes that happens when spirit has important messages for us, right? And it's about leaning into that. I've had that recently where I had to take a step back and just see that it was just not great beliefs that I was holding. And for no reason was I holding on to them in particular. But they're just, so it's like you have to let go of them, because when those mirrors show up, the point isn't to get upset at what you're seeing. Other people reflect back to you, but to see that and go, oh, thank you so much for that, because that's important on my journey. And that means that that's a lesson that because I was aware enough to see it, I did not have to, go through the slog of learning that on my own. It didn't have to be a tower. So there's immense gratitude for those moments too, right? Even though they can sometimes be annoying, yes, but it's not without purpose. It's not without purpose. So we have the Seven of Pentacles. And the King of Cups, not surprised, because the Queen of Cups is here. There's a lot of, yesterday the energy was very fiery, and now we're in our feels a little bit here. So I get the impression that there's some processing that's taking place here. And rightly so, because that was the energy in yesterday's reading, was the leaps, right? The leaps and bounds that we were taking. And I think it was more the consciousness, the leaping and bounding of consciousness, and then this is manifesting in more of a 3D way here. So we have the Seven of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. So I'm getting this sort of indecisiveness. Indecision on the one hand, perhaps some impatience as well. Like, it's sort of like, I get that the Two of Wands in this iteration is saying, like, okay, come on, we have things to do. Like, get with the program, get your feelings together, come on. And then there's this impatience with yourself. But I think that the thing to remember is that the Ten of Pentacles is a slow burn investment. That's not something that just shows up overnight. So resist any impatience that might pop up, because you are planning something. Like, every thought you think is planning something, right? So when you're in that energy and awareness, you begin to see how the way that you are here impacts here, which ultimately decides this, and how willing you are to welcome this energy in, right? It's not just long-term investment energy either. Like, this is a committed energy. This is you sticking to what you know to be true to yourself. This is also energy of staying true to what's important to you and on your path, right? These are all seeds that were individually planted that came to fruition and harvest. So what are the individual seeds that you're planting right now with your thoughts that will lead you to this place of feeling like you have this overflowing garden with food so plentiful that you can barely pick it? This happened last year with tomatoes that I was growing. Before I could even eat the tomatoes, and I mean, I ultimately gave them away because I realized I couldn't eat tomatoes. Haha, that's the cosmic joke. But I had so many, so I just ended up giving them away in spades. And yeah, I just ended up giving them away. But there was so much that I could barely pick what I had. Yeah, see, Magician and Ten of Cups. Oh, so good. Your cup runneth over this week is what I'm getting. Yeah, your cup runneth over and then some. Yeah. I could barely pick it before it was like more was ripening on the vine. It was so nice. But I get that energy here where if that kind of garden takes time to grow. I think that there's the healing that you're doing, and it's like this sort of go easy on yourself is the guidance. And I'm getting that this is like about you healing your expectations, because when we have big realizations and epiphanies that shift our perspective, there is healing that takes place, and we can orient ourselves more positively, though that impatience can kind of creep up along the way. And I think this is just a reminder to stay in your Ten of Cups, because you are manifesting something significant right now. And this isn't just like it'll come someday. You're getting signs of this. And more importantly, you're being invited into it. You're being called into it in this awareness of, it's like pregnancy. Oh my gosh, pregnancy. Good Lord. Inventing words here. It's fine. This pregnancy, it's not just emotion, but it's like a pregnant with your manifestation. Like there's something that's ready to come into the world here, but you need to maintain a positive expectation and orientation towards it, because you may not notice the ways that it shows up, and you may discount it showing up, right? There's that Napoleon Hill quote that's 3 feet from gold, right? 3 feet from gold. They stopped digging and they were 3 feet from the gold that they were seeking out when they were mining. 1444, 444 on the time. So yes, if you're wondering, the angels are here with you and they are supporting you this week significantly. I'm feeling that huge, especially with the Judgment card. Yeah, big time. I just heard but like what's the catch? Like there's a storyline that I feel like is trying to emerge here somewhere. Yeah, I feel like life is trying to celebrate you right now. 3 of Cups, 6 of Wands. Life is trying to celebrate you. I feel like there's this thing that's going to come out here, though, where we're going to see the work of the week that needs to be done. Yeah. A little bit of withholding. Like we don't believe that happiness is actually possible. Maybe we don't believe that not that it's impossible, but that, we're holding on so tightly to these 4 pentacles and we're not really investing in anything new that comes along. King of Wands, Ace of Cups. You have 5 of Pentacles, Death. Beautiful. Oh, chef's kiss. I've done it a lot, but chef's freaking kiss. So we have this King of Wands. This is the love that you want. This is the fulfillment that you want. If you're thinking about this more career oriented and in a career orientation, this has everything to do with you feeling fulfilled and deeply in love with what you do. That's this energy here, right? That is this energy. And this is the transformation. We started with the 5 of Pentacles up here. We're ending on the 5 of Pentacles in Death. Like, beautiful. You're not just watering your garden. You're also clearing out the stuff that builds up in between, right? In between seasons. This is like clearing out the leaves from the garden so that you can water it. Scorpio water energy. Like you're clearing that out. You're clearing that out. That's the power of this here. But you have to allow that to happen. You have to allow that to happen. How do we allow these things to happen? We don't run from emotion. We allow it. We allow it to slip into our deep contentment and this sense of how do I word what I'm trying to say and the way it's feeling? Contentment can be a way that we stay stuck, but when we sit in that gratitude, it can often mask itself as contentment, so we ignore it. But it's important to be grateful because there's a fear of losing here, but you're not actually losing anything. You have so much to gain in whatever it is that's showing up here. And even within your own energy, generally speaking, I think there's a belief that's being healed this week about receiving and receptivity. And this is like, to me, this is a healing card. I love this card. It is a healing card. We have the 4 of Swords, which is another iteration of that, right? That's more giving yourself the physical rest. But I feel like the Death card is like, that's the sort of cosmic rest that's coming to you, and that Spirit is lending to you. So on this Ace of Wands and 10 of Swords, we have, I feel like that's the ending. Like this is the thing that we're shifting, is the new start comes from what we choose to leave behind in terms of thoughts we think about ourselves, and just the pain of the past. Yeah, we're leaving that behind. There's the Tower and Judgment. Tower, Judgment, Sun, High Priestess, Fool. Holy crap. And then the Ace of Wands. Are you kidding me? I realize these are a lot of cards, but they're like, these are all major arcana and then clarifying the exact same card at the start, just like the 5 of Pentacles. There's something really important here. When you let this go, what becomes available to you? The Judgment, that's Pluto energy. So that's like, the Tower, light. But it's like this awareness, and your awareness leads to this sense of happiness, this deep knowing that you have, this interconnectedness where you feel like you're connected to something bigger than you. That 10 of Pentacles, right? That's also the High Priestess. But then this Fool card is like, you feel so much better taking a chance on this because you let that Tower fall as it was meant to, right? You let the Tower fall as it was meant to. The Tower was here yesterday as well. These could be lessons of Pluto retrograde as well, because we're still in the midst of that. It started in April. And we see the Fool here as well. So this is almost like the story of the Fool, this leap, right? And how it can become. This is the sort of flip side to it, where it's like, this is what happens when we let go and release. When we don't, the Fool can become an antagonist energy for us and to us. In our energy and in our way of conceiving of things. But when we step into that, it's like we see the Fool and the Ace of Wands here together. This is like we're taking that chance. And I feel like this is like taking a chance on yourself. It's like taking a chance on yourself. The Fool. What else do we have here, Spirit? Can you help me clarify and provide guidance for my daily creatives on this Fool card? Ace of Swords. No big deal. It's just your truth. It's fine. It's all right. It's all right. No, I think that your truth is really important right now. And like I said, it's like you're taking a chance on you. That's the truth. Like, yeah, taking a chance on you. You're letting the stuff that needs to fall. It could be that you're taking a chance on work on a different, it might be outside of what you would typically do. It could be, dating different types of people that you may not have before. Like, it could be a variety of different things, right? This can show up in many forms. This can show up in many forms. Page of Swords. Yeah. I feel like try not to get caught up in researching everything. Because the Fool is here as the leap, right? The Fool is here as the leap. The only thing you need to know is that you're not carrying this anymore and that you can do it, because it wouldn't be showing up in your life if you were not capable of doing it. It wouldn't be here as an opportunity if you weren't capable of trying it. It wouldn't be here if it had nothing to show you, right? These are both momentum cards. One is significantly more challenging than the other. So it's almost like a call to decide, like, pick your hard, right? Pick your difficulty, but don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Don't like throw yourself into research mode. This can also represent trying to figure out all of the facts beforehand. But the Ace of Swords, this is what the page is wielding, right? Like that truth. So it's like you have to trust the truth, because that's going to be what gets you through here, what cuts through some of the BS that you might be accustomed to allowing yourself to slip into when something shows up that's really good, or when beliefs start to leave, you cling to the things that felt familiar, right? Because it's better the devil you know than the one you don't, right? So it's about letting that go and letting the Ace of Swords kind of slice that off. Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creatives, please? Messages for my daily creatives. Things are not as they appear. Very moon energy. Oh, I see. This is lovely. Okay, so the lower the price of your love, the higher its value. So I think it's about allowing your emotions to flow through you, because it's not going to devalue what you have to say or anything along those lines. I think it's going to provide significant value, in fact. Significant value. And just remembering too that your emotions are valuable. If you've been used to having people talk you out of them, or people say like, don't feel that way, feel this way, or like, instead of saying like, if you have a bad day and it's or you get bad news, right? Having someone say, instead of saying like, oh, don't cry, here, pat, like they're trying to talk you out of where you are, go towards the people that will hold you while you cry and process something, and move on from that, while also reciprocating to them as well. Of course, don't just drain people, but like go towards the people that give you permission to have your feelings and that don't try to, talk you out of them. Because, I was watching a Teal Swan video where this came up. It was a little YouTube short thing. But she said that when people do that, it's because they are uncomfortable with their own feelings. And there's really nothing more caring for folks than to be able to just hold them while they need to be held and process their emotions. Again, don't overgive or take. Like this is about reciprocal exchanges and making sure first too that people have the capacity for it, right? But it's also about taking responsibility for where we invest our emotions, because we're adults, right? Like we have to take ownership of the fact that if they're not, we don't necessarily need to wear it on our sleeves, but we do need to be in touch with it. We do need to be in touch with it, because that's how you heal. That's how you recognize light in others, and that's how you stay connected to yourself, right? You don't have to feel things perfectly. You don't have to have the perfect words for them. You don't have to, have the perfect process, but you do have to stay connected to them because it's a part of who you are, right? I don't care what sign you are. I'm an Aquarian, and like an Aquarian stellium in Aquarius, and then a stellium in the 11th house, independent of any sign in Aquarius. So it's like big time Aquarius. And I still have to have that space to feel things, and to feel joy, to feel happiness, to feel sadness, to feel, right? We all need that container. And I think all signs are capable of that. I know a couple signs get kind of a bad rap as being like the unfeeling ones, but honestly, we all need that space because we're more than just our sign. We are multiple signs in a chart, and we are multiple houses with multiple rulers as signs. So we do have all, and we're all connected by the fact of our emotions, right? So it's about staying connected to them and prioritizing those as well. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Honor thyself. Yes, absolutely. That's what this is about. Honor thyself. And you can honor yourself by feeling, right? You honor yourself by respecting this deep well of emotion within you. And you don't have to dive into it all the time, but it's important to know that it's there, because how can you feel joy if you're not also allowing yourself to feel the full spectrum of emotion in between that, right? Because then your joy is a little hollow at times because you haven't really gotten in touch with any other aspect of the rainbow of emotions within you, right? So I let go and allow the universe to do her thing. Yes, that's the other thing that emotions will give us, get us in touch with here. It's like when we're in touch with that, we can release because we don't need to control for fear of emotions cropping up in between. We can release in joy. We can release and actually feel connected, deeply connected. So it's important to keep that in mind too, and to find people that honor that, right? That really do honor that. Releasing anger from the past sets me free in the present. This could be a process that you need to engage in. With that Five of Pentacles, I feel like that there is a transformation available to you. The Death card wouldn't be there if that were not the case, right? But I feel that there's something that is shifting here about this Five of Pentacles. So there could be some frustration. It may not even be anger. It could be frustration. 10 of Wands showed up here as well. So there's like that burden, right? How do you let go of anger? If I'm truly angry, it takes me a lot to get angry. And I get angry at weird things. Like if I like injustice in the world, I will get very angry at that. But little things I don't, and I tend to cry when I get mad instead of doing a lot of, anyways. But going for a run helps if I'm feeling frustrated by something. And sometimes too, anger isn't just something, we're not angry about what happened. There's also another component of it too. Like, what is your anger telling you? Is it boundaries that were violated? Are you angry at a situation, or are you angry at the fact that you don't have the words to describe it, and all you can think of is the words, I am hurt? And that feels vulnerable making because you can't say that to the person that hurt you. So instead you go to anger because that feels safer in terms of protecting the boundary, because you cannot articulate the boundary in the hurt, right? Like those are the layers to it. Those are some of the layers that are there to it. But this, my darling daily creatives, is your reading for May 31st. I hope it was helpful. If it was and it resonated, please like and subscribe. I'd love to have you on the channel. Thank you so much as well for your eyes and your energy and your time. It is it's so happy making to see the views climb on this channel. So thank you for that. I'm, again, very, very grateful. Yeah. And if this is where we part, I do wish you a wonderful day, and that wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, that it finds you very, very well, my friends. Take care and have a wonderful, beautiful day.